So when is enough enough in these abusive relationships, y'all? Like, when do we put our foot down and say, no more, no more? See, a lot of times we're in these relationships and we don't even realize that we're being abused because we think a lot of us only look at abuse as being physical. If you're not being hit, then you feel like you're not being abused. Well, that's not necessarily true. There's all different types of abuse. You know, a lot of times, and I'm going to put it, instead of giving it all of these politically correct names, I'm going to call it what it is: lying. If your partner is constantly lying to you, twisting the truth, that's abuse. That's verbal abuse. Verbal abuse ain't always them calling you names or yelling at you and things of that nature. Just simply them lying to you is abuse. That is verbal abuse. And because usually if someone is continuously lying to you, they know they're lying. They're lying because they don't want to be found out. They don't want to get exposed. And that's messing with your emotions, your mental. That is abuse. Okay, we have to recognize that gaslighting and making you feel like you crazy when you know what you know, and when you confront them about it, you tripping, you always tripping, man, you lying, you made that up. That is abuse all day long. And I'm not sitting up here telling nobody to walk out on their relationship because their partner is lying to them or gaslighting them or making them feel crazy when they know they're not. But if you know that these types of things is going on in your relationship, I'm just here to tell you that you are being abused, whether you like it or not. And in my own personal experience, in a particular relationship that I was being abused in from the beginning until the end. And like many, because you may know in the back of your head that this ain't right, that this is abuse. You know that they're lying to you. You know that they cheating on you. They betraying you, backstabbing you, and some more stuff. But a lot of times we don't actually correlate that with being abuse. And that's why we stick around. We stick around. Now, it could be many reasons we stick around. It could be because you have children with this particular person. It could be because they're the breadwinner, and if you leave, you're going to be homeless. You ain't got nowhere to go. You're going to be broke. This, that, and the other, which are all forms of oppression and bondage, which is a whole nother video. But there's many reasons why we stick around, all of which are not a good one. Because your reasons are your reasons, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, is it worth your sanity? Is it worth your safety? Is it worth your children's emotional stability and happiness and yours? Are you willing to risk all of those things for this one person that you already know is not going to do right by you? You already know because they've already shown it, right? So are you willing to stick around and continue being abused, drugged through the mud, dogged out? For what? For something that you're calling love? Because, let's just be clear. Love doesn't hurt. Love is not hard. Love don't lie. Love comes with actions. Okay, the love is an action word. So if somebody is telling you they love you, but at the same time, they're putting their hands on you, they're calling you out of your name, they're lying to you, they gaslighting you, they deceiving you, cheating on you, and some more stuff, okay? That's not love. So we have to recognize what love is. Recognize what love is, and then once you realize that this is not what this person is giving you, then you got a decision to make. We can't stick around and allow ourselves to just be done any kind of way. We got to start having some standards in these relationships. Seriously, we got to start having some standards, because right now, these men are running amok through us. Like, they are literally tearing through us like a tornado, and we're allowing it. We're allowing it happily, just for the sake of having somebody. See, we got to stop being so desperate to be in a relationship and just so desperate to say that you got somebody at the expense of your own happiness, at the expense of your children's happiness and emotional stability, as well as yours, at the expense of your safety. Because a lot of times these relationships, see, and I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, so I don't want nobody in the comments talking about, well, what about the women do? I can't tell you what about no woman doing, because I ain't never been in no relationship with no woman. I've been in relationships with men, so that's the perspective that I'm coming from. Okay? And I'm not saying that all women are perfect. I know it's some women out here too that will drag a man through the mud, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman, because I'm a woman, and being in a relationship with a man that is abusive. That's what I'm talking about. So, a man is only going to do what you allow him to do. It ain't going to start out, bad in the beginning, because in the beginning, everybody trying to put their best foot forward and show, their best qualities in the beginning, but an abusive person can only hide that for so long. They can't keep that tucked. They can't. They cannot keep it tucked for long. So the mask is going to slip, but it's going to slip gradually. It's going to slip gradually. It may start out with them, talking reckless to you, just saying things that are rude and disrespectful. It may start out like that. Okay. And then once they see you let them get away with that, oh, okay, well, I can do that. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and, step this thing up a little bit and see what else I can get away with. Now it done went from them talking reckless to you to them calling you out your name. Complete disrespect, and you've allowed that. You may have said something and they apologized, gave you that famous "I'm sorry," which can pretty much get a man anything these days. And you let him back. Now he know, oh, I can do this and this. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and step that thing up. Now, I ain't even about to hide the cheating no more. I'm going to cheat in her face. And if I get caught, I get caught. Oh, well, I'll say sorry and she going to take me back. And this is how it graduates. See, it start out with that small level of abuse, which is not small in my eyes, because abuse is abuse. It's all about how you look at it. But it started out down here, and he gradually kept upping it, just based off how much you were willing to take. Because if you say, no, stop, I'm not accepting that. You won't talk to me like that. You won't, treat me like that. You won't call me out my name. I will not be cheated on, and mean that thing, then that's what it is. He's only going to do what you let him do. Period. And if he say, well, I'm out of here, then let him be out of there. Matter of fact, you should be out of there. It shouldn't even be up to him. Don't give him all the power when you're the one being abused. You walk away and let him know that these are my standards and I will not stand for this, because see, it'll go from name calling to them talking reckless to you, to them cheating on you. Now, all of these things you've accepted and have taken them back along the way. And then one day he's smacking you in your face. Then what? Is that going to be the final, the last straw? Because see, what I'm trying to do here is I'm just simply trying to give y'all some tips on how to conduct yourself in these relationships. And, and I know a lot of people will say, well, what make you an expert? Never said I was an expert. Just a person that has gone through it myself. Okay? That's what qualifies me. because I've gone through it, I've dealt with it, and I've overcome it. So that's where my expertise lie, okay? Like I said, they will start out down here and gradually escalate their behaviors until now you're being abused. And I'm saying all of this to say because I have gone through the exact same thing. I was in a relationship, an 8-year relationship, okay? And it didn't start out abusive, but it graduated to physical abuse, which didn't start until the 8th year of the relationship. But why do you think that this person thought that they had the right to do this in the 8th year of the relationship? Because I had allowed everything else. I had allowed everything else. I had allowed the name calling. I had allowed the reckless talk. I had allowed the cheating. I had allowed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? So it really wasn't no other card to play. That was the last card in the deck. And he figured, I can get away with this. I can do this too. Because a person that knows out the gate that you're not going to put up with that wouldn't even try it. Wouldn't even try it. But because you've displayed weakness thus far, then what would stop him from thinking that you would allow this too? Because see, once we allow ourselves to be mistreated and abused in these relationships, this person is no longer looking at you as a human anymore. They ain't looking at you as a person with real feelings and emotions. They just looking at you as somebody that they can dog and do whatever they want to and know that they still gonna have a place to stay. They still gonna have, a hot meal. They know that you still gonna be there. They don't respect you at all. The respect been gone, if there was any there to begin with. They don't even look at you as a real human person with emotions and feelings. They look at you as their property. And now, once you've allowed all of these things to happen, and now you want to try to buck up and speak up and, stand up for yourself in the relationship, then that's when the physical abuse will start. Because how dare you? You're going to do what I tell you to do. You've been doing it. And I know it's some of y'all out there right now that can resonate with exactly what I'm saying because you've gone through it yourself. Or you may be in a situation right now where you're going through it. And see, once you stand up after being a doormat for so long, that's going to switch some type of switch off in this person's head, and they gonna lose their mind. They gonna lose their mind. And now it's gone from verbal abuse, from emotional abuse, deception, betrayal, cheating, to physical abuse. Now, this person, they've really lost their mind. Now, they're really trying to take your life. I'm talking attempted murder. I'm talking heinous crimes that your worst enemy would probably not even do. Doing things to you that you would never think that this person would have ever done to you. So I'm telling you, for those that are allowing all of the misdemeanor abuse, eventually the misdemeanor is going to turn into felonies if you keep allowing it. Because like I said, physical abuse didn't even start until 8 years into the relationship. I never thought that this person would lay a finger on me. Never thought that anything like that would ever happen. Never thought that would happen. And not only once the physical abuse started, now for me, that was the last straw, which should be, but the straw should have been drawn a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But when the physical abuse started, oh, that's it. Now I'm done. I'm done. And once this person saw that, there was no winning me back. There was no amount of sorries or flowers or anything that they could have said or done that would have brought me back. Once they saw that, then the physical turned into absolute rage and psychopath behavior. Now I'm being shot at. Now I'm being raped. Now I'm being choked to the brink of unconsciousness. Attempted murder, kidnapping, stalking. Need I go on? This is how serious these abusive relationships can get if you don't nip that stuff in the bud in the beginning. You go into these relationships with standards and you let these people know that this is what I'm going to tell. This is a line right here. If you cross this line, then that's it. And when you say that that's it, it's really got to be it. You can't go back. You can't allow them to keep playing with your emotions and your feelings. You got to be serious. When you say no, mean it. And when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Because like I said, it don't start way up here. It starts down here. And once they start displaying signs of an abusive person, then you got to believe that. Staying is not an option. Staying is not an option, y'all. I really need for my women out here to start just gaining some courage in these relationships and stop being afraid of being left. Like I said, why you giving them the power anyway? You're the one being abused. You should be doing the leaving. And I'm saying all of these things to say I ain't no better than nobody else. I done been through it, which is my qualification as to why I can come on here and tell y'all the do's and the don'ts in these relationships. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. I was, keyword was, a person that would put up with a lot in a relationship. Out of desperation, just to keep it all the way 100, out of desperation, just to have somebody, just to call, just to say you in a relationship. Because you so afraid of losing this person. Well, what are you even losing? What are you even losing? And what is this person that they getting ready to run to gaining? You know exactly what they're gaining, and you know exactly what you losing. You losing a headache. You losing a smack across the face. You losing a person that has been compromising your self-worth, your self-love, your respect, your dignity. That's what you're losing. And what you're going to be gaining back is all of those things. Because see, once you lose a relationship like this, now sit back and stop doing what a lot of people do, is running right into another relationship. Sit down somewhere. Get to know you. Figure out what it was that you did in this relationship that could have caused all of this. Not necessarily caused these things, but played a part in it. Because if you ain't have no standards, then you're partly to blame. Because a person gonna do what you allow them to do. And that's just simple. An abusive person, let me put it like that, because there are good people out here that don't go into relationships with bad intentions and are truly good people, good-hearted people that, genuinely want to be in a healthy relationship. But when you're dealing with a narcissist or, an abusive person with, oppression and bondage mentality, then this is what you get. This is what's going to show up in your relationship, and if you allow it, it's going to show out. If you allow it. Because see, when the first time you meet a man, he ain't going to smack you in your face the first day you met him. He ain't going to parade another woman around in your face the first day that you meet him. This is a gradual thing. These are things that have been allowed for a prolonged period of time that led this person to think that it's okay. See, if I would have known back then what I know now, if I was the person back then that I am now, oh, these men would have had something on their hands. But we don't always have to go through a bunch of stuff to learn. And that's why I make these videos. That's why I come on here. And to try, I'm trying so desperately to open up a few eyes, just a couple of eyes. You don't have to stand for it. You don't. You don't. Accepting it and standing for it is when you find yourself in a world of trouble, like I did. And it took me years, 5 years to be exact, to rid myself of this person that just couldn't take the fact that I left him. Because I was no longer human in his eyes. I was his property. How dare you leave me? Were his exact words. Don't tell nobody you left me. What kind of madness is that? What kind of madness is that? And these are the people that we riding and dying for. You know, we ride or dies for these abusive men that could care less. That could care less. Look at you as property. Walk all over you, do whatever to you, stab you in your back, deceive you, cheat on you, have babies with other women on you, all types of stuff. But these are the men that we riding and dying for. So I just need my women. I just need my women to start opening their eyes and start realizing your value. You don't have to settle. You do not have to settle. You're the catch. You're the one with the power. If you say it, then that's what it'll be. Okay, y'all, that's all I got for y'all today. So y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.